Zeke Miller of the Associated Press asks President Biden what his plans are these upcoming 2 years. And we have California as well as Vermont voting for limitless abortions. All of that and more here on The Bald Brad Show. Welcome to The Bald Brad Show. It is Thursday, November 10th, and as always, support the show by hitting that like and subscribe button, as well as leaving your opinions in the comment section below regarding anything that we cover in today's episode. Your help and support would be greatly appreciated. And with that being said, our lead story of the day is a reporter from the Associated Press asking President Joe Biden, hey, what are your plans for the next 2 years? And just wait for his response, folks. As always, again, hit that like and subscribe button. That being said, let's roll into the tape.
You mentioned that Americans are frustrated, and in fact, 75% of voters say the country is heading into the wrong direction despite the results of last night. What in the next 2 years do you intend to do differently to change people's opinion of the direction of the country, particularly as you contemplate a run for president in 2024?
Nothing, because they're just finding out what we're doing.
Oh my God. This is real. This is real. Mr. President, the country's just being driven right into the ground. What are you going to do differently? And what's the message going to be to the American people? Nothing. You can't make this up. Oh my God. And Democrats still vote Democrat, folks. Inflation's through the roof. They still vote Democrat. CPI is still through the roof. They still vote Democrat. Illegal immigration shattering records. They still vote Democrat. Crime is through the roof in Democrat-ran cities. They still vote Democrat. You got a president here. Hey, what are you going to do to fix it? Nothing. They'll still vote for the guy in 2024. You can't make it up.
The more they know about what we're doing, the more support there is. Do you know anybody who wants us to get rid of the change we made on prescription drug prices and raise prices again? Do you know anybody who wants us to walk away from building those roads and bridges and the internet and so on? I don't know. I think that the problem is...
Did he just talk about building the internet? I swear we heard that.
The major piece of legislation we passed, and some of it bipartisan, takes time to be recognized. For example, you got over $1 trillion worth of infrastructure money, but not that many spades have been put in the ground. It's taking time. For example, I was on the phone congratulating a Californian recently, and then someone up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, the congressman who got elected. He said, can you help us make sure we're able to have high-speed rail service from Scranton to New York City? I said, yeah, we can. We can. First of all, it'll make it a lot easier, take a lot of vehicles off the road, and we have more money in the pot now, already out there, we voted for, than the entire money we spent on Amtrak to begin with. And it's the same way. For example, I talked about through the campaign that we're going to limit the cost of insulin for seniors to $35 a month instead of $400 a month. Well, it doesn't take effect till next year. So there's a lot of things that are just starting to kick in. And the same way with what we've done in terms of the environmental stuff. It takes time to get it moving. So I'm not going to change. As a matter of fact, you know, there's some things I want to change and add to. For example, we had passed the most bipartisan, we passed the most extensive gun legislation, rational gun policy in 30 years, but we didn't ban assault.
Oh, goody. Not only do I want to not change anything and just ride the country into the ground, but I also want to chisel away your Second Amendment rights. I'm laughing because this is unbelievable that people still vote Democrat. They still vote Democrat.
I'm going to ban assault weapons. They're going to try like the devil. So I'm not going to change the direction. I said I ran for 3 reasons. I'm going to continue to stay where I am. And I know I fully understand the legitimate concern that what I'm saying is wrong, okay? One is that I said we're going to restore the soul of the country, begin to treat each other with decency, honor, and integrity. And it's starting to happen. People are, the conversations are becoming more normal, becoming.
What? You just alienated literally 50% of the country by calling them a threat to democracy. You were literally just at a speech like 2 weeks ago and you called a bunch of Americans outside that were protesting against abortion and socialism, you called them idiots. God forbid somebody's against murder. God forbid somebody's against freaking socialism. But you're calling them idiots. Don't give me this that you're trying to sit there and heal everybody and you're going to be the great unifier and all this other stuff. That's a bunch of crap, man. That was 2 years ago. You had an opportunity and you freaking missed it.
More, how can I say it? Decent. Second thing I said was I want to build a country from the middle out, the bottom up, and that way everybody does fine. I'm tired of trickle down. Not a whole lot trickles down when you trickle down to hardworking folks. And the third thing I know is...
Yeah, because you got freaking 40-year record inflation, you dum-dum. Of course, nothing's going to trickle down because there ain't nothing to trickle down in the first place because everybody's freaking pocketbook is going somewhere else because inflation's up because you thought it was a great idea to freaking pass out stimulus checks like they were hotcakes. You don't want to increase domestic oil production. You made it very clear on that you don't want to increase fossil fuel. You basically want to just completely obliterate that industry. Does it trickle down? Well, yeah, no shit. Nobody has any money, man.
Still very hard. I'm going to do everything in my power to see to reunite the country. It's hard to sustain yourself as a leading democracy in the world if you can't generate some unity. So I'm not going to change anything in any fundamental way.
And you know what? You can't blame the guy. You want to know why? It's because, again, everything that's going on, illegal immigration, crime, homelessness, fentanyl, the drug cartel, bringing that fentanyl in, one of the leading causes of deaths for youth, all these things. I mean, throw a freaking dart at the board and you'll land on something that Joe Biden caused. And Democrats still went out and voted for all of it, which we talked about in yesterday's episode. So you know what? Why would you change anything when you know that people are still going to go out and vote for the same stupid people that are going to implement the stupid policies that freaking give us the outcome that we have right now? Do you blame them? It's unbelievable. It was an unbelievable question. And you can give a more unbelievable answer to that unbelievable question. It gets you riled up, folks. We got 2 years of this. 2 more years of this. Our second story of the day. If I didn't get you more riled up from that first one, well, hell, wait till this one, folks. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We got California and Vermont approving limitless abortion measures. Remember how it's supposed to be all safe, legal, and rare? Well, the cat's out of the bag because this is what the Democrats, this is what the progressive left really wanted. Limitless abortion measures were overwhelmingly approved Tuesday in California and Vermont, paving the way to enshrine the so-called reproductive rights for women into both state constitutions next year. In the aftermath of the U.S. Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade earlier this year, the decision to codify abortion went back to the states, which is how it was supposed to be. Quote, the biggest battleground and most significant war that's taking place in this nation is the demonic murder of children in the womb, and California is leading the way, and they are leading the way big time. California has a Calvary Chapel in Chino Hills, and that is where that quote comes from Pastor Jack Hibbs. So far, approximately 3.5 million California voters have favored Prop 1. I am not one of them. I voted strongly against this bad boy, which changes the California Constitution to say that the state cannot deny or interfere with a person's so-called reproductive freedom, and that people, get this, have the fundamental right to choose to have an abortion and use contraceptives. So we're going all the way back to Griswold v. Connecticut that we saw originally, to Roe v. Wade, and now we're just saying that people have the fundamental right for this stuff. Even though it's eluded legislatures since the freaking founding of this country, and somehow we have that fundamental right. Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom, who signed 15 abortion-related bills this year, with a $200 million state budget included, contributed $3.4 million from his re-election campaign on the measure. You think he wants to kill babies? I think so. He's willing to put $3.4 million into it. Democratic Senate President Pro Tem Tony Atkins, who authored the bill, told the Los Angeles Times that California voters sent a loud, clear message to those who think they can control our bodies. In California, we will not go backwards. This guy's nuts. Psycho. Psycho guy for creating a bill such as this. I mean, talk about wanting mass murder. Atkins over here. Current state law allows women to abort their child before the fetus can survive outside the womb, or if the mother's health is in danger, and further defines the term perinatal as the period from the establishment of pregnancy to 1 month following delivery. California's health and safety code says babies born alive after a failed abortion should receive the same care as another infant of a similar age, and the code also maintains protections against fetal homicide. Well, folks, get this, because the language of it is kind of funky here. Susan Arnold, Vice President of Legal Affairs at the Right to Life League, told Epoch Times that Proposition 1 shares the same pro-abortion language as AB 2223, which would protect anyone who kills a baby born alive if the mother agrees with the pregnancy's outcome, and if a baby's death happened due to the causes that occurred in utero. It gets worse. That is why AB 2223 is the danger, true danger. The bill will eliminate California's current Roe v. Wade era restrictions on abortion, creating an unlimited right to abortion for all 9 months of pregnancy, including after the live birth of a baby. It does this with the language perinatal death due to causes that occurred in utero. This phrase is vague and totally undefined. That is crazy. Centimeters from coming out, they are all for killing babies. So much for safe, legal, and rare. The cat is out of the bag. This is what they really wanted. Oh, well, what about people that got raped? What about people that have incest, which account for 1% of all abortions? And that's a terrible thing to go through. I'm not trying to belittle that. But so much for safe, legal, and rare. Where's the rare aspect? Well, everybody's good. Everybody just cut them up. Cut them up. Chop their heads off. Throw them in a trash bag. We're good. 9 months? Oh, who cares? Not a big deal. Oh, you're giving birth? Oh, well, you want an abortion? Hold on. Let's stop everything. Do you want an abortion? A lot of you here can't be for this. There's just no way. I mean, let me know in the comments if you are for killing literally a baby. I mean, 9 months? It's sick, man. It's literally sick. I used to be pro-choice. I used to be a sicko that was for this stuff the majority of my life because I was an idiot. Just a big idiot. I was for this stuff. And I got to repent for that for the rest of my life. For the idiocracy that I had for wanting this sicko stuff. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit frustrated here, but you're killing an innocent human being and you're all for it, and you got millions of people in this damn state that I live in that are all for it. The bill will prevent any investigation into the cause of the baby's death, erasing justice for the unwanted baby born alive. They don't even look at it as a baby. That's a problem. The left don't even look at it. It's just a clump of cells, that's according to them. Across the nation, you also got Vermont codifying abortion in the state's constitution. According to local media, residents supported Proposal 5, which gives individual rights to so-called personal reproductive autonomy by a margin of 72 to 22. Not even close. While lawmakers and pro-choice activist groups like the ACLU of Vermont, the League of Women's Voters of Vermont, Alliance for a Better Vermont, and Planned Parenthood Vermont Action Fund celebrated the measure's passage, opposers of the bill said it came as a surprise. Isn't that weird that you're just going to literally throw parties for killing babies? Just throwing all the poppers, having nice little hors d'oeuvres, little finger foods, dancing, kumbaya. Oh, this is great. We get to kill babies, throw them in the trash can. This is awesome. Mass murder. Woo! Freaking psychos out there. Quote, "We knew it was an uphill battle to actually be able to successfully share the truth of what the ramifications of this amendment would be." This comes from a spokesperson of Vermonters for Good Government, told local media, "I still believe that the Vermonters really understood the implications, that they would not have supported it. Vermont lawmakers have already legalized abortion in the state without restrictions and leave regulating it up to medical professionals." This is where we're at. No wonder Joe Biden doesn't want to change anything, because clearly there's Americans out there, a good portion of them, that are for killing babies. They're for increased crime. They're for inflation. They're for sanctuary cities. They're for mass illegal immigration. I mean, you name it, they're for it. They love it. They're driving this country into the ground, folks. And the only way that we can change it is by getting out to the polls. The next election, 2024, is going to be big. We're not going to stop here. We're not going to be relentless here on the Bald Brad Show. We're going to keep it going. And we're going to bring you all the news and information you need to know about. Support us by hitting that like and subscribe button, leaving your comments down below, and I'll see you tomorrow here on the Bald Brad Show.